Matthew chapter 20. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyards. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyards. And he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is worth, I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went about the 6th and the 9th hour, and he did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idly, and said unto them, Why stand ye idle? Stand here all the day idle. They said unto him, Because no man had hired us. He said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. And when the first came, they supposed that they would have received more, and likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. And he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that thine is, and go thy way. I'll give unto this last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? So the last shall be the first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. And this is about the end of the first part. But when we go further from 17, so from the first part is about verse 1 to 16. Then the second part is from verse 17. Let me throw some light more on the first part. Now this, like we said, that Jesus teaches in parables. And this parable is very, very interesting and very insightful. And here Jesus was using an analogy of a man that has a vineyard. He told them the story of a man that had a vineyard and employed people at different hours of the day. Ideally, the people he agreed with were the first people he employed, and he told them he was going to give them a penny. Towards the end of as the day was going by, he was picking more people, and adding to the vineyard to join in the work. And the others expected that, these people are coming late, so we have been working here since. But that was not the case. Jesus, when I read this passage for the first time, I was saying, Jesus, what kind of this thing is this? I actually thought it was a message for salvation. So I was saying, anytime you come to Christ, salvation is the same, salvation is equal. That was my thinking. When you come in the morning, when you come in the evening, at any time you come to accept Jesus, salvation is the same. There's one thing that is paid, make heaven. So I was thinking that this was actually talking about salvation. But looking at it in depth, I see it's not just about salvation. It's talking about the laborers, their wages, what they're going to get. As we are working in God's vineyard, what is going to be like. He was using it to teach us patience in the vineyard, commitment in the vineyard, not looking at the other person in the vineyard, just doing your own bit and making sure you complete your own. What he has agreed to give you, he will give you. Let it not be that while you're working in the vineyard, you are busy trying to nose into other people's own, knowing the person who is doing his own well, who is not doing his own, who is coming late. It's not you that is paying, it's God that is paying his people. And he knows what he's going to pay. He knows what every man deserves, and is going to give every man according to his wages. And lo and behold, he said, if we are not careful and we now get so used to this thing and we begin to get bored and begin to start complaining and begin to the last shall be the first. Who knows what happened in that vineyard? The level of interest and commitment. I foresee a situation where those that came first, when they saw the others coming, they now maybe became lax. I don't know. The Bible did not give that detail. They may have become lax, but I'm just looking and trying to see how we act sometimes. You have been in the church, you have been the head usher for so long. Now you begin to see the younger ones coming and people, you now relax and say, we have been doing this work for a long time, you have come, or you are walk too. Lo and behold, at the day of payment, who received first? The last shall become the first. And an insight to this is also that we should be careful. We that have become over familiar with God and we have too familiarized ourselves with the things of God, that we have now begun to do it the way we want. God is asking us and teaching us and telling us that we should not go back on our love for the things of God and the way we do the things of God, because we have tarried or stayed and it looks like Jesus has not yet come. He will come one day. Let our commitments not go down. Let our faithfulness not go down. Let us begin to add value to what we do, so that at the end of the day, when He is rewarding, we will be remembered as those. Remember the passage of the Bible in the book of Revelation that said that my thing against you is that you have forgotten your first love, the way you started with God. Look, the people that are employed the first time you entered the farm, that enthusiasm, that way you labor, you want to clean the grasses, you want to make sure things are in order. That passion, that heart with which you started, God is asking you to go back to that same heart, to go back to your first love, to go back to that enthusiasm, to go back to that interest, to go back to that love, the way you used to love God, the way you used to do the things of God. Don't become old in the vineyard. Don't begin to get tired, because He's looking for those with the first heart, the first love, the first interest, the first enthusiasm, the whole of their zeal and their power.